I'm Susan Odell of Foodelle.com. I'm a professional teaching chef and a graduate of Le Cordon Bleu. There is always room in my meal plan for comfort food, and one of my favorites is chicken pot pie. Nice vegetables and chicken cooked in a rich, thick sauce covered with browned, crispy puff pastry. And most of it you can do in advance. Let's get started. The first step is to saute your vegetables and get them just a little bit brown. So I'm going to heat my fat. I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of butter. Let's get that hot before we add the vegetables. So I've got 2 carrots cut up, 2 stalks of celery chopped, and 1 yellow onion. These are my aromatic vegetables, also called a mirepoix in French cooking. These help to flavor the sauce. I've also got about a tablespoon of dried thyme. We're going to add that. And about a half a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to saute the vegetables just until they start to brown, about 5 minutes. Once your vegetables have started to soften and are just starting to barely brown, about 5 to 7 minutes, adding my flour. This is 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. This is going to help give us a thick sauce to cook the vegetables in the oven. Just stir that all around and make sure you cook out that floury flavor by giving it a stir for about 2 minutes. You want all of the vegetables to be well coated with the flour. Once the flour is incorporated, I'm going to turn the heat off, and while whisking, I'm going to add 3½ cups of low-sodium chicken stock. Now you can turn the heat back on and add your frozen peas. This is 1 cup of frozen peas, and I've got a tablespoon of Madeira. You can use sherry instead, just something to sweeten it up a little bit. Bring this to a boil and cook it for about 5 minutes until the sauce is thick. Once your sauce is thickened, you can turn off the heat and add your cooked chicken. What you want to do is pour it into a baking dish so that we can cook it in the oven with the pastry on top. When you're ready to cook your pot pie, preheat the oven to 375 degrees, and then we need to roll out the pastry. I'm using frozen puff pastry that I've thawed in the refrigerator, 1 sheet worth, or about 8 ounces. I just need to roll it out to the approximate size of the mouth of my baking dish. Just roll out towards the edges. You don't ever want to roll over the edge of your pastry. That'll flatten it. Just get close to the edge. Once my pastry is the right size, I've trimmed the edges just to make it a little more round because my baking dish is round. I'm just going to lay it right over the top of the dish. We're going to tuck in the corners a little bit just so it's all within the dish. Then I'm going to bake it until the pastry is nice and golden brown and puffed, probably 20 to 25 minutes. Boy, does this look good. My pot pie underneath is all bubbling and hot, and my pastry is beautifully puffed. I like to serve it almost immediately, so it's good because it's good while it's hot. And I serve it family style. It's already in a pretty dish, so just serve and let's eat. Bon appetit.